Hi there, La Jolla UMC family. If you participated in worship this past Sunday, whether you were online or in person, I'm sure you saw that during the Blessing for Young Hearts, we took time to talk about perspective. This was in service to the broader message throughout the worship service of coming to worship and trying to let go of our perspective and take on God's perspective. As a practice to that, we might pay attention to the perspective of others in our worship experience. It's good and right to see from other perspectives, to understand how others experience worship. And so as an illustration of that, I brought a camera and microphone, the same one on which I'm recording this video now. We started with my perspective, what I see as I'm standing up on the chancel during, prayers and the time of the message and benediction. We went over to the playground and sat with a young lady in the playground and saw how she sees the sanctuary and the people who are sitting near her. We then sort of walked around the back. We saw our capable ushers team and what they see from the back of the sanctuary. Then we sat with a young family in almost the very back row and saw the sanctuary space from where they sit. But then in contrast, we went all the way up to the very first row and sat with another young family where they experienced worship, as they said it, distraction-free, without distraction. Then we went over to the north transept where the choir sits, and we saw the sanctuary and the people in worship from the choir's perspective. Our capable musicians are in that space every single week and have a unique experience of worship. You didn't see it because it was during a later time in worship, but I even went back to the back of the sanctuary and got a perspective of what our technical crew sees from that new sound booth. I hope seeing these perspectives is a helpful thing for you as we continue to seek out what is God's perspective? What are the perspectives of others in our worship space? You may also recall that at the end of this service, I offered a challenge or an invitation, however you would like to think about it. And that challenge or invitation was, when you come to worship this next Sunday, choose to sit in a different place and experience worship in a different way. And of course, if you're someone who's been joining online for worship, consider, if it's safe for you, if it's not a prohibitive distance, consider coming and joining in person and experiencing that perspective of worship. Friends, I believe it's always a good thing to look at things from another perspective. And I hope this helps us to open our minds to the perspective of those with whom we share the body of Christ, and surely God's perspective. Grace and peace to you, my friends.